A Brachiosaurus lived in my town. She would bring back supersized vacation pictures. Paris in the spring, explore sunny Italy, visit Mount Rushmore. Dinosaur fact print. Brachiosaurus means arm lizard. She was one of the very tallest dinosaurs. Although she was bigger than a giraffe and had a long tail, she looked like a huge reptile version of a giraffe with her high shoulders, low backside, long neck, and small head. However, Brachiosaurus would be very small compared to the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy would be 3 times as tall as her, while a gondola boat would only be as long as her neck and head. If a Pachycephalosaurus lived in my town, he could come biking with us and he wouldn't need a helmet. Dinosaur fact print. Pachycephalosaurus means thick-headed lizard. He was the biggest of the bone-headed dinosaurs. No, he wasn't stubborn. It means that he had a very solid skull, 10 inches thick at the top. That's about the height of a plastic milk bottle. He walked upright on his heavy back legs and was very fast on his feet. If a Torosaurus lived in my town, we could use him as a chair and have the best view of the fireworks. Dinosaur fact print. Torosaurus means punctured lizard. He had the biggest head of any land-living animal. It was over 8 feet long. It was so big because of his enormous neck shield. He was a strong dinosaur, was about the size of a bus, and walked on 4 thick, sturdy legs. His face had 3 horns for protection, 2 big, long ones over the eyes, and 1 small one above his beaked nose. If a Dinosaurus lived in my town, we wouldn't have bird feeders, would have tiny dino feeders. Dinosaur fact print. Dinosaurus means winged lizard. He was a tiny flying dinosaur, about the size of a well-fed pigeon, and with a similar size wingspan. He had a long, thin tail with a leaf-shaped paddle at the end. The paddle helped to steer while flying. Dinosaurus' head was made up of mostly his beak and large eyes. If a Coelophysis lived in my town, he could go into space. Oh, wait, one of them already has. Dinosaur fact print. Coelophysis means hollow form. He was a skinny, fast-moving dinosaur that when standing on his hind legs was as tall as a human adult. A fossilized Coelophysis skull was flown into space by the Space Shuttle Endeavour in 1998. For a short time, it stayed on the Mir space station before coming back home to Earth. If a Euoplocephalus lived in my town, he would break a piñata with 1 swipe of his tail. Dinosaur fact print. Euoplocephalus means well-armored head. He was like a small armored truck with lots of bony plates and studs covering his back. He also had a long tail with a heavy bone knot at the end of it. He could swing his tail like a club to defend himself, or to smash trees to bring branches low enough to nibble on leaves if he got tired of munching on ground plants. If a Cryolophosaurus lived in my town, she could be a circus star. Dinosaur fact print. Cryolophosaurus means frozen-crusted lizard. She was called that because her bones were found at the South Pole. She was a medium-sized dinosaur, about 25 feet long. She had a large head, half of which was a long mouth filled with very sharp teeth. An unusual fancy crest sat at the top of her head and made her look very festive. If a Leelinosaura lived in my town, we could read together in the dark. Dinosaur fact print. Leelinosaura was named after the discoverer's daughter and means Leelin's female lizard. Leelinosaura was a skinny little dinosaur that lived in the ancient ice and snow of the South Pole. She had huge eyes to see in the long, dark winter months, there as well as a large brain. If dinosaurs lived in my town, we would need a bigger town. About the author. Marianne Plumridge is an artist, writer, and book reviewer for the science fiction, fantasy, and mystery genres. Her artwork has graced magazine covers, greeting cards, jigsaw puzzles, and the occasional book, while her essays, fiction, and book reviews have gained respect and recognition on the internet and also in print. Miss Plumridge also shares a condo with her husband, Bob Eagleton, and several thousand kaiju monsters, dinosaurs, dragons, and other beasties in the form of toys and figurines, as well as books and movies. Inspiration is never lost for long. About the illustrator. Bob Eagleton is a science fiction and fantasy artist and lecturer. He has 7 art books and illustrated works to his credit, one of which won the 2001 Hugo Award for Best Related Book. Mr. Eagleton also has received 8 Hugo Awards for Best Professional Artist, Locus Awards, the Skylark Award, Chesley Awards, Analog and Asimov Magazine Awards, among others, throughout his long-standing art career. In addition, Mr. Eagleton has a wide-ranging knowledge of dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, which led him to a lifelong interest in big monsters and monster films from around the world. Not only has he painted and illustrated these favorite subjects, but Mr. Eagleton has also given lectures and written essays and articles about them for publication. This includes writing and illustrating an issue of the Godzilla comic for Dark Horse Comics in 1996, as well as illustrating many monster comic and magazine covers for them. In the film industry, he was a conceptual artist for Star Trek, the Nickelodeon film Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius 2001, and Warner Brothers' The Ant Bully 2006. He was also an extra in a Godzilla film in 2002 and continues to be an honored guest at Toho Studios whenever he is in Japan.